Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Football Wink. How are you? Football Blink, and you'll miss it. I hope you guys are all happy and healthy, doing the things you love. It is Friday. It's 1:30. It is the 16th of January, the 2026 version of the date. I hope you guys can do us some little favors for the admin before we get into it. Big up to Football Heritage TV for the raid. Aren't they still streaming? Thought they were still streaming. Maybe you've left early. Maybe you jumped over early. I don't know. But please do smash the like button for us on this punctual show. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Notification bell buttons should be squeezed. Comments should be dropped. And enjoyment should be pursued. Guys, we are sponsored today by OK Jersey. Check out OK Jersey for all of your football and sports clobber. You know where to go. You know what to do. Search them up and find whatever you're looking for. And if you stick in code THINK, then not only will you already have unbelievable prices and unbelievable quality, but you'll get a further 8% off. You can't ask fairer than that. We are also available on all of your podcast platforms. Wherever you shall walk the wife, you don't have to listen to her. You might not even have to watch her either. You can look at us on Spotify. You can hear us back on all the others. Do check that out and give us a follow and a rating. Big up to you all that have in the past. Johnny, how you doing, mate?
All good, all good. The gang's back together. It was a strange one yesterday. I went solo yesterday. I was waiting for you to interject. People were worried where you'd got to. I said nothing to worry about. He was he was twerking for the Spurs assistant coach job. Unfortunately, you missed out. It was a narrow thing to some guy from Ajax. What does he know? What does he know?
Exactly. Yeah, part of the interview process was to try to do a Thomas Frank impression, and unfortunately, he did it better than I did. I was accused of sounding more like Daniel Farker and also Arnie Schwarzenegger. So, unfortunately, they said, please apply in the future. We shall keep you on our record.
Honestly, can Heitinger even do score predictions? Sure. I bet he can't.
No, he can't.
No,
he can't. Well, he can try, but he can't keep a tab like this. No. Can't keep a tab like this, keeping you lot at bay. And guys, this is your chance in the chat today. Is this weekend the final chance? The final minutes of Butler's domination? We shall see. That is to come later on, guys. That's to come later on. We got lots to get through first. I'm going to come and say hello to the chat in just a second. But Johnny, there are a lot of transfer news, views, and clues to get through. So shall we start there, sir?
Let's start there.
The rumor mill, it's time we went there to speculate, gesticulate on who will go where.
Big up to you. What's going on? Someone's talking about getting blocked. Have we blocked someone by mistake? I don't think I've ever blocked anybody on this channel.
We don't block anybody. This is a block-free chat. Unless
thus far, there's always going to be some donut that's eventually going to break.
If you're a donut and you come in here and you're excessively abusive, then obviously we can't sort of tolerate that. We do have moderators there who keep the chat nice and respectful. We're used to being called out when you're in this environment and you make calls and you make statements. Sometimes you end up with egg on your face. So it's all part and parcel of the game. Where should we start, Sean?
I see what's happened. Hang on. James is saying he got blocked for having an opinion that was different. Okay.
Sean,
let's start with this one. Breaking news, and I think this one's a little bit about Tottenham as well. Maybe I'm just a little bit delirious and hoping this is the case. But Fabrizio Romano has brought out in the last hour that Crystal Palace have sent their first official approach to Angers for Siddiqui Sheriff, who's a very interesting player. Proposals worth 20 million euros, add-ons included, agreement done with the player, talks underway on the club-to-club side. Now, Siddiqui Sheriff, I don't know if you're too familiar with this man, but he is a player that plays as he's 19 years old. He's very, very interesting. He plays as a centre forward, mate. He's a number 9. And so here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Tottenham should be in for this particular signing or anything like that. He's a youngster. He'll go to Palace, do well. In a couple of years' time, he'll be worth 80 million. But you know how it works. But there are also rumours out that there's a certain man who already plays in the 9 spot at Crystal Palace who might be looking for an exit. And that is, of course, Jean-Philippe Mateta. And he, not so long ago...
I covered this yesterday, mate.
Did you?
Yeah. The thing is, he's mentioned many times, Sean, that he really wants to play in Serie A.
Yeah.
And the fact that Juventus have come in for him, I'm not sure, even if a bigger club in the Premier League came in, well, it would depend on the level, whether you could entice him. Yeah. Whether you could entice him, a Spurs could entice him over a Juventus. Because Juventus aren't in a great position right now. They're rebuilding, financially strapped. So maybe, just maybe, Spurs could be in with a shout of him. But
yeah, in all likelihood, though, it is a serious, because it was about 2 months ago that he mentioned that he was, or there was a lot of rumours about him going to AC Milan. He wants to play for AC Milan, but Milan don't have the money for him.
Correct.
How much would Mateta cost? 60 million? 50 million?
I don't think Juventus have got nowhere near that money. They couldn't even pick up 35 million euros for Mwani, right? They struggled. Right. They got loans. I think and
they've still got. I know they're thinking about the future after Vlahovic, who's going to leave at the end of the season.
That's the thing. They're trying to make a plan for it. Look, they're struggling to make ends meet to offer Kenan Yildiz the contract. Now that would be what better parting gift for Tottenham Hotspur would be from Fabio Paratici than to deliver a Kenan Yildiz. That would be the sort of signing that would make the Spurs fans sit up and take notice. And it would be a great.
I think they're very close now to getting that new contract done. Hey, Paratici, mate, he is the sort of guy that gets divorced or splits amicably from his current missus, and then moves on to his new missus, then pops round to see how the last missus is doing. And while he's there, pops upstairs and raids her closet for a few frocks.
Just to hang up so he can still sniff her now and again.
Oh, no, he's going to give it to the next girl, Like, wear this one, girl. It's brand new from my ex's place. That's what he does.
Manor Solomon. Hey, look, guys, I'm not in the job yet at Fiorentina, but you know what? I can get Manor Solomon out of Villarreal, who, by the way, are doing very, very well. 3rd in the league. And I'm going to get you transferred. Only he could get them transferred to a club that's about to look like it's getting relegated. Not quite sure what yarn he's spun that one. But look, he's got his finger in a lot of pies. I wouldn't be surprised if the relationship between Fabio Paratici and Spurs continues from a distance, Sean. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but you know what? At the end of the day, though, he's like, for me, his like, I don't know, raison d'etre is his little black book, which is obviously a big black book, but the vast majority of his deals comes from his former club. So he might end up coming back to work with Tottenham just to get players out, like Radu Dragusin. Might be a deal that he ends up facilitating, not necessarily to Fiorentina, but he'll end up being like, I think I wouldn't be surprised in the future, in the next 18 months, if some of the players that leave Tottenham end up going to Italy.
Well, listen, I've got to say, while you brought up Radu Dragusin, look, we all know about that agent who talks more than a chat show host, and he needs to be brought down a peg or two. I said the other day, it should be wind him up. They should wind him up and say, Spurs are interested in getting rid of him in this transfer window. Bring him up to the training ground, have a long conversation, and then when he's literally at the wire, we've changed our mind. A bit like Marc Guehi and Parrish deciding at the midnight hour they weren't going to let Marc Guehi go last summer. Do that to him. But look, if he goes to Roma, or as rumoured today, there's very strong interest from RB Leipzig.
Well, there's a story for you just quickly, right? Just quickly on the RB Leipzig one. I've just done a video about this a minute ago. So Yan Diomandi, okay? Yan Diomandi. He has, we know that we've approached RB Leipzig and they've said we're not interested in selling him this month, right? Yeah. So he's only going to go at the end of the season. He's already said he'd like to go to Liverpool. His dad wants to see him in a Liverpool shirt. Liverpool will probably wait and say, you know what, we'll get you in the summer, but the leverage is in our power. If Tottenham think that there's any chance of getting him, it has to be now, right? But if RB Leipzig say we're not selling him in January, or we're not going to lose him in January because we need him for the rest of the season, there's two aces up the sleeve here. One is you could go back to Leipzig and say we could do a deal with you for Yandy Amandi, and you could have Radu Dragusin, right, as part of the deal, player plus cash, right? Or two is, because this is the only way you can do it, and I wanted to ask you, and also I wanted to ask the chat whether they would be okay with this. Would you be okay dropping 80 million quid or whatever it's going to cost to get him, but you loan him back to Leipzig for the rest of the season? So you commit, you get the play, if he was willing to do this as well, of course. This is putting his interest to one side. But just theoretically, would you be okay dropping all that money on a player that you want him to come to Tottenham, but the only way that you get him is if he stays at RB Leipzig for the rest of the season? Because if you wait until the summer, you're not going to get him anyway. So would you be okay dropping all that money now, not getting to use him until 26, 27 season?
I think he needs to prove himself across the rest of the season. We've seen so many, players who, like your Gift Albans and some of these other players who have been unbelievable for a season or 6 months and then fall off a cliff. I think 80 million. Look, if there was a chance that he'd be interested, I'd be more interested in making that sort of offer. But the fact that both himself and the father have said, we want to play for Liverpool, I think tells you everything you want to know. Just like Solis at Club Brugge, who said, if he leaves, he doesn't want to leave now, but if he should leave in the summer, it will be for a top club like Liverpool. We're not in that. Spurs aren't in that main frame right now. But I was going to say to you, with Radu Dragusin, because I actually think there's a good defender in there. I do. I think this misconception about him is brought upon the fact that when he was played, he came from playing in a back three, central part of a back three, to playing a high line kamikaze football, and he got exposed. But I believe in a proper football defensive setup, Radu Dragusin is a good player. Would you be willing to sell him for just 25 million? Or would you be expecting a 25 million, knowing the way his agent works and the fact that probably 6 months after getting to Roma or RB Leipzig,
he'll be off again.
He'll be saying, "I want him to play for Real Madrid."
His agent isn't doing what's in the best interest of Radu Dragusin. No, his agent's got the one big player, and every single time that there's a deal that gets done, if there's a signing on fee of £500,000 or whatever, he'll get his 10%. If there's some sort of agent fee, 1.5% of the transfer money, whatever. So this is one of those guys that's going to move his player on. Radu Dragusin won't find a home anywhere whilst he has that agent, because that agent's always going to be in his ear, telling him he's better than he is, telling him that he should be playing somewhere better, and then always talking, always spinning that yarn so that the agent gets the next the commission all the time. Yeah, listen, the agent's working for the agent, in my opinion.
Yeah, listen, I remember seeing him in the Euros, and he was exceptionally good. I think he is a good defender. I don't think we've ever seen the best of him at our club. What I'm saying is I'm okay selling him. If we're going to bring in a left-sided, I would sell him with a sell-on clause, but only if we are buying a left centre-back. Because right now, if Mickey van der Ven gets injured, and the way we're going right now, they're dropping like flies, I'm not seeing Ben Davies play for the remainder of the season. He might as well give up. I mean, it's so we are vulnerable right now, and we have been. And this issue should have been addressed long ago, and it hasn't. But we'll be interested to see where that one goes.
Just quickly, RB Leipzig have got another player that we might want to take off their hands. If not Yandy Amandi, then would you do Castello Lucaba?
Yeah, Lucaba's good. And
quality.
What about the guy we were linked with that went to Brentford but didn't go to Brentford?
Noosa.
Yeah.
Antonio Noosa.
Antonio Noosa.
Yeah, Leipzig have got a few players, mate. A few players, but they have sold a lot of players in the summer, so they don't need to raise any money.
I've sold a load, mate. They sold 3 top players in the summer, so I'm not sure. Sold Sesko, sold Xavi, and Openda has gone as well. So I'm not sure they can afford to sell any more just now.
Slight little dig there from Tango about Italy. Gladiators. Italy have lost every single war they've been in for nearly 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Well, they had a pretty good empire, mate, for a large part of that. Let's be honest.
Well, they used to say during the war, the Italian tanks only had one gear, reverse. So I'm not sure how true that is. We surrender. The war hasn't started yet. Oh, okay.
This a war. 2,000 years. This a war. The same thing. Oh dear, what is going on? By the way, breaking news out of Romano right now is that Oliver Glasner has confirmed he will not sign a new contract.
Yeah, no shot there.
He will leave Crystal Palace in June. He said, I already informed the club months ago that I wanted a new challenge. I
mean, look, the summer is going to be some exciting stuff going on. I think Ancelotti's going to be available. You got Tommy Tuchel, you got Nagelsmann, you got Pochettino, you got Glasner, to name but a few. And when you consider some of the, some of the clubs who are sort of rocky a bit, and Alonso is available, and Xavi is available. Yeah. In the summer there was an abundance of strikers, and our team never bothered to sign any. But in the summer, there's going to be an abundance of top managers, and I think it's going to be an exciting summer. I think maybe there'll be people having words with these managers as we speak.
The summer's going to be fascinating, mate. There's so many managers that are currently top draw club managers that are currently working in World Cup, in international football, that might end up going, you know what, I want to get back to the day-to-day grind. Right, there's so many of them. By the way, just quickly, Johnny, this man here, I've got to call him out, not call him out, but like welcome him in. He's an Aston Villa fan who has become obsessed with me, Bruno G. He's also obviously a Bruno G fan because he talks a lot of bollocks about Newcastle as well. He comes into my videos every single day, just to try to, I don't know, he just follows me around now, just finding me very annoying.
Oh, Bruno,
why do you watch me? Why do you watch my stuff? I'm not going to block you, mate, because we don't do that. I don't care. You're welcome here. You're welcome here. Stick in a super chat. But why do you watch me if I irritate you so much? You watch every single video I do, and you always comment, you sweet little sweetheart.
He wants to be noticed. You've given him 2 seconds of notice and fame. Thanks very much for coming in. If you want to contribute, you're more than welcome. Arsenal are at it again, Sean. They're very interested in signing the French defender, Jeremy Jacquet. I think quite a few clubs are interested in him and looking at him, including Liverpool. He's a top player, but I looking at the fact that Arsenal are looking to sign another defender, do you think that they think that maybe Saliba is wanting to or interested in moving to his countryman's club, Real Madrid? And that's why they're looking at Marc Guehi or someone like
Guehi's going to City today, isn't he? It's done, pretty much done. That's what broke about. Hang on, let me get it out here. So also from... There we go. Let me get the thing up. Let me get the old bad boy up.
They're offering him all the gold that he can eat, mate. They're City desperate. They are the most desperate. Well, I thought Liverpool were the most desperate.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that Liverpool are letting this one slip. There's the story. This came out a couple of hours ago. Exclusive City advance on Guehi deal as big approach. Big guys, a big approach has been made in the last 12 hours. It's not a here we go yet, but it will be a here we go soon. Manchester City presented important proposal to Guehi in terms of contract, eventually ready to proceed. Also with Crystal Palace, deal now closer with City. Interesting, mate. Who does he replace?
Well, they've got injuries. Gavidal's injured. Diaz, I think, is injured. This is playing havoc. I've got to tell you, it's playing havoc with my fantasy football because I had 3 Manchester City players and Semenya. Now I've got 4. And I got Marc Guehi.
What happens in that regard? If your team is already like set,
you have to get rid of them.
Do they get forced into the? They get a notification or something.
I have to get rid. So I've already having to get rid of Foden to make way for Semenyo, and I've got Marc O'Reilly will not be in the Crystal Palace squad v Sunderland this weekend, as a deal is now in the final. Wow. That is absolutely huge, mate. That is huge.
He's out of here, mate. City doing biz. City doing bits, mate. And they're doing it on the value. They're doing the value, mate. 60 million
could be the signing that changes everything for Man City. I know everyone. I know that they talk about. I know they talk about the fact that the signing of Semenyo is the game changer. For me, it's not the game changer. For me, the game changer is the centre back. They've been open. They've been really, really porous at the back, Man City, more so than they have been for many, many years. So he should be just in place when he comes to play Spurs, should he go. Perfect.
Typical, isn't it? It's typical.
Perfect. But listen,
by the way, right? You know exactly what's going to happen tomorrow in the West Ham game. Just before I say this, big up, shout out to Kate and Jimbo for the raid.
Thanks very much, Jimbo.
Big up to you. Hope you're well, miss. And Mr. The lovebirds of the Tottenham community. But, mate, listen, you know the Tottenham story, right? It's always Spursy on some degree. So, we said Eze who? And he goes and bangs in a hat-trick against us, right? Semenyo, on his birthday, his last kick of his career at Bournemouth, he scores a goal against us. Who is it that's going to score tomorrow?
Paqueta, last game.
100%. If you are a betting man and you believe in the Spursy curse, you 100% stick a tenner on Lucas Paqueta anytime goal scorer.
It's either him or
it's
either him or the new signing, Tati, the Argentinian, who's just come in and scored a goal. You know, he's going to be having a worldie, or Somerville or Bowen will suddenly have a worldie. El Sacchio with the what's this? Signing of the day, Jassim Yazin to Strasbourg, 7 million euros. Chelsea again. Unbelievable. Blueco signing up anyone and everyone that can kick a ball. How old is Jassim Yazin?
I'm kind of reading that a little bit different, right? If you see that, so you go, Yassine is like another way of saying, have you seen? And then on the first person perspective, it could be like, just see me. Have you seen? And did you see me? Just see me, Yassine. Yeah. I see you, bro. You haven't got to say it twice.
Yeah, stop saying it twice. See ya. I see you. This is massive. This is probably going to be one of the biggest signings of the window. The fact that Liverpool couldn't get it over the line and have stated the fact that they're going to go, here we go.
Is it a here we go?
Wow.
I haven't seen the here we go.
I haven't seen a here we go. Is that an event?
Matt Guehi? No, it's not. It's not updated yet.
No.
Nothing's updated. Oh, no, it is. It's just come out now. It is. Yes, guy, it is a here we go.
Wow.
Matt Guehi to Manchester City. Here we go. Official proposal accepted. 20 million quid.
Wow. What a deal. What a deal. They must have offered him a massive, massive salary, I'm telling you, because he's forsaken the signing on.
That is great business.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, they've said, don't worry, we'll figure out a way. We'll buy you a house in Abu Dhabi or something.
Yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry. You'll get it in kind somewhere or other. Do you like Abu Dhabi?
Mate,
Abu
20
Dhabi.
million. Abu Dhabi. He is. That's a big deal. That is a big deal.
That is. For me, that's a much bigger deal than Semenyo. I'm sorry. That is. I've always rated him at the top. He's going to go straight into playing Champions League football. Crystal Palace, I would have thought, have the replacement already in place. I wouldn't have thought that they would allow him to go without it. I've got to be honest.
That's phenomenal, mate. Do you know what else? That Liverpool fan who said, no, fuck that. I must be the only guy in the Liverpool fan base who don't want him because of his LGBTQ stance. Don't like it, mate. Don't fuck him. Don't come here. Go somewhere else. And he's gone somewhere else. You got your way, you donut. You got your way.
What a donut. I've now got 5 Manchester City players
You got to do some work, bro. You got to do some work on that team.
I'm going to get. I'm in trouble. I'm going to be on -4 points this week. -4. Don't know what I'm going to do now. Jesus Christ!
This might go for Dragusin. I haven't seen it. Let's have a look. Let's have a look on transfer feed. Let's see.
We could loan him. We could loan him out. That's what we should do. Loan him out.
No, we need him, mate. We've only got 4 centre backs.
What's this about?
Dragusin, Van der Ven, and Romero. If one of those 2 gets injured, then the other one goes in. And we've got if we get rid of Dragusin, there's nobody left. We'll have a bench with just, and you know what will happen? We'll sell him or loan him out without a recall clause, and then the next day Romero will break down or Van der Ven will break down. You know it will happen. We cannot loan him out. No chance.
Kicking myself. I put Marc Guehi front and centre yesterday on yesterday's thumbnail. And here he is, bang, today. I never thought it'd come today. I've got to be honest with you. I thought this one might run till the final days of the window.
Things are picking up. Junai Byfield, Alan, hasn't played a single minute of professional football, first team football.
No.
He might be, Johnny, you spoke about him for years, didn't you?
Mate, he's a fantastic player. Broke his arm quite recently, but he's an unbelievable player. But he's not ready. He's not ready. Nowhere near. And we need a left-sided player as well on top of it. So,
yeah.
Who's the player that supposedly got injured in training today?
Polinia, someone said.
Terrific.
Yeah. So it's Archie Gray and Conor Gallagher. But I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that officially. There was some break. I see someone saying about Leeds United. There was a story about Leeds United this morning. I saw it. Who was it?
Well, Harry Gray, who looks
Strand Larson.
Wow.
Larson to Leeds is picking up. Someone's asking in the chat, is there any Leeds news? Yeah, Strand Larson is there you go, Carl. Big up to you. Strand Larson from Wolves. Apparently, Leeds are considering putting down a 35+5 on Strand Larson.
Well, they wanted 60 million when Nottingham Forest and Everton came in for him. And we know that obviously Wolves wouldn't let him go because they sold El Nouri, and they also sold Mateus Cunha. So a bit of a shot there. Listen, Leeds have been fantastic.
And Buonanotte was also a deal I saw yesterday.
Buonanotte to Leeds is done deal.
That's done, isn't it? It's a done deal, right? Yeah. That's an interesting one, mate. That's a really interesting deal. That is. I like Buonanotte. I think he's a really classy player.
I've got to say, I think Leeds, they've fumbled their way around. Fantastic at home. Only 2 defeats at home this season to Spurs and Aston Villa. Real handful. And when they came on that really tough fixture list that they had, a run of games, they came through there with flying colours. They made a fantastic fist of it. And I think this is very sensible from the Leeds board, Sean, because they're not out of relegation. They're sort of, they're there, a couple, 3 or 4 bad results. So investing now is brilliant stuff. And that's what you want to see from your board. And Dark, let's be honest, Fark, should I say, Dark. There were so many rumours about him getting the sack early doors part of the season.
He's a good manager, mate.
He's done very, very well.
Very well.
I mean, they got trounced the early part of the season by Arsenal. Arsenal, again, picking a particularly great time to be playing them. But I hope Leeds stay up. Done really well. And the owner is definitely ambitious. The owners are definitely ambitious enough, the 49er group. What's interesting is the Rangers fans, the Glasgow Rangers fans, have also owned by the 49ers group. We're looking on very enviously at the signings that Leeds were making because Rangers made hardly any. But they're now trying to support Danny Rahal to balance it up, to quieten some of the noise that was coming out of Rangers for the lack of investment. But good up for Leeds, and I'd like to see him stay up in the league. I certainly won't be missing West Ham.
Interesting story from Foxy here. Big up to you, Foxy. I hope you're okay, mate. He says, AEK owner has fined the whole squad for €400,000 after being eliminated by OFI in the Greek Cup. the fine will be lifted if AEK wins the next 3 matches against Panathinaikos, Asteras, and Olympiakos.
Wow.
I mean, what are we doing here? Hey,
Greek owners,
can you do a Greek accent? Hey, I don't know, I have a Greek accent. Can you do one? The topics. You want ketchup, boss? I don't know. That's not even.
Hello, everybody. It's more like hello, everybody, pips.
Yes, Johnny.
Yes.
Johnny smashed it. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody, pips. Yeah. I hope Stelwa isn't watching this one. Right, what else have you got? Let's go on to some more. We got loads.
This story about Omar Marmoush out of Turkey today. Let's go to Turkey for a second, even though it's not about Turkey, but we'll just go there for the jingle.
This is the Turkey segment. The Turkey segment of the show.
Turkish media are reporting that Galatasaray are trying to sign and move, trying to make a move here for Omar Marmoush on loan, but that they fear that Tottenham and Aston Villa are the 2 teams that are ahead of them in the pecking order, and that Tottenham specifically have made intimations. They made moves in this regard. Omar Marmoush doesn't want to leave City on a permanent, but he does want to get out for the next 6 months on loan. And according to Turkish media, Johnny, that's the story. However, I'll always remind people when I say this on my own channel, I've been caught with my hand in the cookie jar referencing Turkish media many, many times, because I remember Victor Nelson. The Turkish media said that the deal for Victor Nelson from Galatasaray to Tottenham was done, and it wasn't. They said that Altay Bayindir, the goalkeeper, I think he was at Besiktas or maybe Fenerbahce, I forget at the time, that he had joined Tottenham. I went out with a here we go. I did the whole thing with the dog and got completely muddied. They also said that Tottenham Hotspur, in fact, it was the Fenerbahce chief, the president, that said that we're trying to sign, that they were trying to sign Edin Terzic as the new manager, but that he turned them down because he said that he was waiting on an official deal from Tottenham this time last year when if Ange Postecoglou was going to get sacked. So don't listen to a bloody word that the Turkish media, not the Turkish presidente, it's not, no one says. They all talk a load of bollocks, but the story is there that Tottenham Hotspur apparently are trying to sign Omar Marmoush on loan from City, as our Villa and as our Galatasaray.
I've got to be honest with you, Sean. Having watched him in the semi-final against Senegal, mate, I wouldn't have given you 10 quid. I swear to you, honestly, it's like it was terrible, mate. It was absolutely terrible. For me, if you're going to go and buy anyone right now and you've got the money out in Turkey, for me, you go and buy Victor Osimhen. You know, Chelsea looking for players, looking for an out-and-out Stavros. Yeah. If you're looking for an out-and-out goal scorer, a guy who's an absolute beast in the air, is Victor Osimhen. I know he didn't do it for Nigeria in that horrific game against Morocco in the semi-final there. One of the worst games I've seen in a long time, 0-0. I think I'd go for him. I haven't seen enough from Marmoush. I haven't seen any of Marmoush, bar a few games at the beginning of the season, in the January window after he signed from Frankfurt, Sean, for Man City. This season, I haven't seen any of that on Marmoush. I just haven't. And
it takes a bit of time to acclimate, though, doesn't it? I guess maybe, you know.
He acclimated. Are you American? Acclimated?
Assimilated, bro. Have you acclimated and assimilated into the British Premier League?
We're in England. Acclimated? I mean, come on.
Acclimatized.
Acclimated?
Listen, you know I wear many hats and many wigs. That's what I do. That's what we do here. Osimhen's not leaving Turkey, though, I don't think.
Well, he's a bit of a surprise. I wonder who's orchestrating this one. Aston Villa have taken a decisive step towards signing Fiorentina star Moises Kean, identifying the prolific Italian as a preferred striker replacement for AS Roma-bound Daniel Marlon. I don't know if I believe this one, because the Tammy Abraham story from Besiktas seems to be more of a story that I can believe. because I was quite surprised he went to Besiktas. Obviously, it was all about the money, the private jet, fly him in. But I can see Tammy Abrahams maybe going on loan with an option the other way round. And that Marlon deal, I don't know how that's going to affect their FFP. Originally, that deal to Roma was going to be purchased now. And apparently now it's loan with an obligation in the summer. So I'm not sure how that will work with their FFP.
I don't know if you can book the money now. Then if it's an obligation, maybe you can. I don't know.
Not sure. One club looking to replace Conor Gallagher, Atletico Madrid, and have identified a player we speak about quite often on here, João Gomez. Big fan of his. Really shocked that no one came in for him in the summer. But I suppose when you've lost El Nouri and Matheus Cunha, you can't really afford to lose another one. So that's an interesting one. Ruben,
interesting story out about Senesi. Bournemouth might be raided again. They are raided like Paratici's ex's closet. Every single time, every single day, they are being raided for someone. And the current story is Senesi to either Chelsea or to Juventus. Good player, mate. Good player. Really, really settled in so nicely. Like taking over the mantle from the fella who went to PSG, whose name escapes me right now.
Yeah, Zabani.
Zabani and Boyson. Yeah. Who went to Real Madrid, that to have found Senesi, slotted him in there, and then now for him to be on the back burner, it's difficult for Bournemouth, right? If you are Areola, you must be sitting there going, I'm not a magician, mate. Like, you've got to let me have some talent. But what's his name? Bill Foley's just like, nah, this is.
Mate, he don't give a shit. Bill Foley. I don't even get me started on Bill Foley and his PaySafe company and the launch of all of that and all the smoke and mirrors and the big sales pitch that was as hollow as a real £10 coin. They bought in Truffert from France. He's done well to replace Kirkes. And listen, I'll be honest with you, they're lucky that Justin Kluivert is injured because he really is a player that they're after. A lot of clubs are after. But as I say, Sensei is definitely a player who, coming to the end of his contract, he's not going to be a lot of money. Yeah, I spoke about this, Foxy, yesterday. Brazilian bid for Rayan. He's obviously going to be another player. Rayan is a replacement for Semenyo, I believe, Foxy. Under 17.
Tottenham were linked to him, weren't we? For Vasco da Gama player. He's a real talent, apparently.
I think under 17, under 20 Brazilian international. Good player by all rights. One player who Sean and I have spoken about a lot since the window opened, one before the window opened actually, is Ruben Neves. We thought that maybe he's the type of player that Manchester United would go to in this window because he wouldn't cost them a lot of money and he would definitely help Michael Carrick at the club. But there's now rumours that he could go to Chelsea. I mean, how many more players can they take, Chelsea? I mean, it's absolute madness. And funny enough, talking about Victor Osimhen, Jean-Obi Mikel has claimed that Chelsea need quality up front and experience in an attacking unit. And there's only one person they should be signing, and that's Victor Osimhen. So he sort of agrees with me on that one. One club who
Chelsea definitely need a
striker. They thought they had their man the other day. I can remember his name.
Naziri.
I can't remember his name. Yeah.
Naziri, the striker who's going to. And he's going to Everton now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they haven't done that yet. Well, yeah. I didn't know it had been.
No, it hasn't. No, it's not done. It's not done. They're closing it. They were closing in.
Yeah, 2 other clubs have come in for him to compete with him. So Everton are now looking at trying to sign Callum Wilson, which is a strange one. What happened? Tell me something. You must be desperate. What happened with Callum Wilson that a club like West Ham are struggling as badly as they are, that they cut him loose.
It tore up his contract.
What happened?
I don't know.
It hasn't come out what happened with Callum Wilson there. If you're a West Ham fan and you can shed some light on it, because when you're struggling, I mean, I know they bought Tati now, the Argentinian, but they needed another striker, even if he's only coming on for the odd few minutes. Tell me.
Interesting story, Johnny. Just quickly, Aston Villa for CC and the Villa lot in the Villa crew in the house. Ex-Tottenham player, Irish international Troy Parrott.
Wow.
Has been linked to Aston Villa. A player that Tottenham have got. Is it a sell-on fee or a buyback clause?
No, I think we got a sell on. We got a sell on. Here's one. I'm not putting any substance in this for Man United. Hayden Hackney, the Middlesbrough boy. I like him as a player, but I would still have him behind Alex Scott, behind Elliot Anderson, and behind Walton.
Of course,
He has something about him, but he's like 23. I'm not so sure. I don't think he's the complete player. I think he's a good player, but he's not a complete player. And I don't believe he's a Man United player. If they're going to go for anyone United, they're going for Elliot Anderson or Walton or Belieber.
24 in June, mate, and hasn't broken into the Premier League yet.
Well, this is what I'm saying. What is more believable is they're looking at Nottingham Forest centre-back, Brazilian star Murillo, who's an animal. He would definitely be an asset to that Man United back line. Good luck dealing with Marinakis, though, on that one.
Yeah.
What else you got there?
A few other ones. Always got a few knocking about. What else?
Another one here.
Zinchenko going to Everton from Arsenal.
Who?
There's a link there. Jonathan David going to Palace in the opposite direction.
Wow. That would be that. I mean, Jonathan David's not getting any time.
But it looks like Jonathan David. It looks like Palace have decided that their replacement for Thingy is that guy I spoke to you about earlier. Whose name I forget now. Where is it? His name is
drum roll.
Siddiqui Sheriff.
Yeah,
I'm the sheriff in town.
I shot the sheriff.
Yeah, you know that's going to be the that's going to be their song.
I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy. Oh no. Enzo Fernandez is of big interest to big spending PSG. I can see that one happening, Sean. I can see that one happening.
Yeah, but they like to move players around, don't they? That's what they enjoy doing at Chelsea. No one gets too comfortable. Everyone moves.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're eBay FC, mate. Yeah, everyone is tradable. I cannot believe I'm still sort of gobsmacked that all the clubs have allowed Marc Guehi to go to Man City. That is definitely going to set the tremors in motion. Let me tell you. Down in the north part of London, Arsenal, because they were porous at the back, and him going there and adding the leadership that he gives Crystal Palace is going to be absolutely massive for them. Massive.
Yep. Completely. By the way, guys, we've got 2 minutes before we move into the predicciones. If there's anybody in the chat that wants to participate on behalf of the chat for this week, let us know. First came, first served. Unless there is a member gets the priority. But if not, then the first person who says yes that hasn't done it before, let us know, and we will do that. We're about to start the predicciones in just a second. Johnny, any last stories whilst I get us prepared for this?
Yeah, Ben Kent said he will do it. So if he seems to be the first to come up. No, I think that's it for now, unless another breaking story comes. If you're in the chat, guys, please hit the subscribe button. We're trying to grow the channel. Can't do it without your help. Thousands of you watch this show, but a load of you don't subscribe. It doesn't hurt, doesn't It doesn't hurt to press the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything, but it certainly helps our channel, as does the comments and as do the likes. So take a second and do that. And if you are listening, as Sean mentioned before, if you're listening on audio, out walking the dog or out walking the wife, please hit the follow button on our audio, which is also growing. Morning to everyone in America. Good evening to those of you, or is it good morning for those in Australia? Good afternoon to those in the UK and Europe. We have a worldwide following.
All right, let's do the predicciones, guys. And Ben Kent, you're the man is stepping up. 3, 2, 1. Predicciones.
Who's gonna win this weekend? Gotta predict the scores. Gotta be Nostradamus, picking wins, losses and draws. Who's gonna win this weekend? Gotta predict the scores. Gotta be Nostradamus, picking wins, losses and draws.
Eddie, you weren't here for the recap on the last show, mate. You did very, very well indeed. Very well indeed. It's not Eddie, it's Adiz, sorry. You got 12 points, mate. You got 12 points, and Johnny got 8 points, and I got 6 points. So I came bottom of the rung, which means that the points on the scores on the doors at the moment are in third place. Johnny's on 123 points. In second place is the chat on 154 points, 31 points ahead of Johnny, but only 7 points behind Butler on 161. It's all to play for. 7 points is the difference. Lots and lots and lots of actione to go. Well done, Adiz. Well done. Johnny deserves 0 points, apparently, Michael. Michael Wilmington says Johnny deserves nothing. What's Johnny done? What has Johnny done? Is Ben Kent? Are you still there, my man? Let's do a couple of super chiddly chit chats first. Adam scored. Drawlock has started the super sticker train. Big up to you, Adam. Choo to you, my man. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate you very much indeed. And also Chudini. Chudini always here. Choo to you as well. Chudini, thank you very much, mate. Always supporting. Where is he? He is here. Ben Kent's here. Okay, mate, you're stepping up. Right, you know the rules. A correct score.
Negative, apparently, says Michael Wilmington. Thanks, thank you. I'm positively negative, obviously.
On the wrong side of a AA battery. Be up to everyone. Let's get into it. If you get the right score prediction, you get 3 points. Right result, but wrong score, 1 point. 0 point for everything else, and at the end you get to pick a player that hasn't played before, and if he scores an assist, you get a point for every assist. If he gets a goal, you get 3 points for every goal. First up tomorrow, 12:30, the morning kickoff. Unbelievable game. Manchester United at home against Manchester City.
Big one, this one. Michael Carrick, first game. Obviously, he'll be doing everything he can to make a good impression. And not that I think he'll get the job, even if he goes unbeaten to the rest of the season. But for the rest of the Premier League and the neutrals, I think everyone will be willing Manchester City to win this one. It's an imperative win for them. I would have thought Mbeumo will be back, and Adama, not Adama, what's his name on the flank? Man United will definitely be troubling City's defence without Marc Guehi in it. So I think that Man United will score a goal, but Man City will win the game. I'm going to go 3-1 Man City.
1-3. I'm going to say 2-1 to City. I think it'll be close, but if City drop points here, I think it's finito, kaput. Where's my man Benjamin Kent? Where are you, Ben Kent? Ben Kent. Where are you? Stick it. There you go. 1 City, 3-1 to City as well.
Okay,
fair enough. Fair enough. Interesting game, that one. Next one, Chelsea Brentford, West London derby. Game number 2 of Reservoirs. Listen, I'm a man and I age men. That's why I'm called a manager. I'm also a and I atch players. That's why I am a coach. What a donut he is. I can't wait to see. He's going to be the gift that keeps on giving. However, I do think they will get off to a winning game here, mate. I'm going to go for a winning start. I think I'm going to go for 2-1 to Chelsea.
Interesting one. They had a lot of injuries against Arsenal. No Palmer, no Gusto, no Delap, no Caicedo, no James. I'm not sure how many of those will be back. I think Caicedo's finished his ban. So he will be back. He'll be important. But Brentford have the threat. We know Igor Thiago is a threat. I think Brentford will score. But what score did you go, Sean?
2-1.
Yeah, I think I'm...
And Ben's gone 2-2.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 as well, Chelsea.
Okie dokie. Leeds versus Fulham. I think Leeds are going to get the points here. Here by gum. Come on, boys.
Well, Fulham haven't got the 3 Nigerians back. Well, they're out, but I'm not sure if someone can confirm in AFCON there's a third playoff. Because if there is, they won't be back. But they've got Chukwuemeka, they've got Iwobi and Calvin Bassey out. And Leeds are superb at home. So I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds to beat Fulham.
Okay, I'm going 2-0 to Leeds. Easy. What's my man Ben Kent going 2-1 as well? He's going 2-1 to Leeds as well. All home wins. That blatantly means there's going to be an away win. Liverpool, Burnley. Too much for Burnley for this one for me. Liverpool still rock volatile and never a team that you know what they're going to do, but they are at home, and I just think that Burnley will be a little bit. I don't know, maybe be a little bit too much for them this one. I think Liverpool will get back to or get onto their winning ways and get the 3 points. I think this will be easy. I'm going to say 3-0 to Liverpool.
Funny enough, I was going to go 3-0, but I'm going to go for a Liverpool rout, and I'm going to go 4-0. 4-0,
okie dokie, and 3-0 to Ben Kent as well. Big up to you, Benny boy. Sunderland against Palace.
Well, this one's changed.
Yeah.
Sunderland at home. Still, I don't know how many of the players that went to AFCON are now back. I would have thought maybe a few might be back by now if they're not having a jolly, a camp somewhere. Manager's announcing that he's leaving. The news that their captain is gone. I'm going to go 2-0 Sunderland.
I'm going to go for a point apiece, 1 each. 1-1 on the score for me there. Benny Kent, where are you, my man? 2-0 as well. 2-0 as well. I don't expect that to be a great game, though, to be honest. Tottenham, West Ham. I'm going for 2-0 on this one. I think that Tottenham they're gonna have to get a result here. Anything other than a solid result, defensively sound, I think will be unacceptable. And we shall see how they get it on. But I'm going to go for 2-0 to Tottenham. And about bloody time we won a game at home, John.
It is. I'm like you. I think that West Ham will score a goal. But I think we will run out winners in this game. I think Mawani will score his first goal.
That'd be good. I'll be coming straight for my man.
3-1.
3-1?
Yeah.
3-1, same as Ben Kent. Okay. Forest, Arsenal.
Oh, this is an interesting one. Forest, they might think they're out of the water, but they need a win. They need to find a win somewhere, especially for Sean Dyche's managerial career, because Marinakis wouldn't be too if they carry on losing to bin him very quickly as well. I don't know. I've got a feeling that Forest could get a draw here, Sean. I'm going to go 2-2.
Okay. I'm going for 0-2 to Arsenal. I think Arsenal will score a couple of set pieces. It'll be a boring game, and And nothing to see here. Arsenal win 3-0, says Ben Kent. Yeah, I'm on that sort of page, but I'm going 2-0. A little bit more reserved. I just think Arsenal are just chewing up the set pieces. It's so.
Yeah, they are. But...
Even the goal that Goalscorer scored against Chelsea was like from open play, was a 2-foot tap in. Like it's just boring. Like they're the most boring team. They'll be the most boring championship winning team since
Arsenal.
Since Arsenal and George Graham, yeah. Wolves Newcastle next up. Ryan's in the house. I don't know what to make of this one. Newcastle never that great away from home. Wolves on a bit of an uptick, but Newcastle probably also doing well. I mean, they are doing well. I'm going to go for 1-1 on this one.
Yeah, you know what? I'm also going to go for a draw, but I'm going to go 2-2.
Desmond. Wolves 2, Newcastle 2, says Reeks. Sean is an effing whiny twat. What have I moaned about? Arsenal football. Are you an Arsenal fan, are you, mate? You're an Arsenal fan. Yeah. Unlike Henry Wright, we're not the sort of Tottenham fans that just blow smoke up your ass. And I love Henry, by the way. He's my mate. Good mate. Where's Ben Kent? Where is he? Where is he? On the Arsenal game.
Ben, where's your score?
There he is. 3-1 Newcastle.
3-1 Newcastle.
Handle.
They can handle the truth.
Villa Evertonians. What are we doing here?
Well, Villa can't afford to lose this one. Everton are so they don't show up. Then they're all feisty and they do show up. I think Grealish is back from his 1-game ban. Keane, I think, is still out from his sending off. I'm going to go 2-0 Villa.
2-0 Villa?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're probably right on that one, mate. 2-0 as well. What's Benny Boy doing? 2-0. Where are you, Benny Boy?
Where's Kent? Where is he? What's the score, Mr. Kent, for the game? Let's see. Come on, Villa Everton. Your score, Mr. Kent. Where is he? Mark Kent, 2-2. He's got.
Sean Henry fakes outrage for money. Yeah, I called him out.
I
called him out yesterday for that fucking the chair bollocks that he did. It was I was like, mate, it's cringy, mate. It's cringy. How have you even pressed record on your computer, then walked off screen, let the thing start, do your theatrics, and then afterwards you downloaded it and then cut the bit out where you pressed record and then walked off. I was like, come on, Henry, what are we doing here, mate? All you're doing now is you're talking to fans that aren't Tottenham fans, so you're always going to criticize the football club and praise everybody else. You've got to do his thing. I love him to pieces. He's doing his thing. And he's making money, but yeah, it's not.
Good luck to him. Good luck to him.
The last story. The last thing
us doing our thing. Brighton versus Bournemouth, Sean. Did you get the score 2-2? Yeah. Brighton, Bournemouth. Brighton are home. I think Brighton are going to do this personally. Matoma being eased back in. I'm going to go 2-1 Brighton.
2-1 Brighton. I am going to go for 2-0. 2-0 to Brighton.
And
Ben Kent has gone
1-2
to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okie dokie. And there you go, guys. That is the what I'm Ben. Thanks for putting them in. Right. We need a player that can score goals or assists. Here are the players you can't have. The chat can't have Bruno G, Richie, Cunha, Ekitike, Cherky, Saka, Barnes, Thiago, Foden, Odebear, Bowen, Rogers, Gakpo, Voltamade, Haaland, Grealish, Kudus, Rice, Richie or Salah. Johnny, you're not allowed. Delap, Guacarez, Pedro, Mateta, Evanilson, Foden, Saka, Gordon, Welbeck, Bowen, Haaland, Voltamade, Mawani, Ekitike, Bowen, Wirtz, DCL, Semenyo, and I'm not allowed Reinders, Vissa, Esteval, Pedro, Evanilson, Mawani, Foden, Isak, Thiago, Welbeck, Watkins, Jesus, Voltamade, Haaland, Grealish, Salah, Gyökeres, Johnson, Semenyo, or Ekitike. I know who I'm going for.
I'm going to go for Mawani.
You're going for Mawani. Okay. I think I'm going to go for the guy that I said if he comes to Tottenham, I am done with Daniel Levy. I think I'm going to go for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He knew it. Sonny knew it as well. Yeah. He knew it. Sonny knows me too well. Gonna back my boy Xavi for this one. He will get a goal and an assist for us. He's looked very sharp in the last few games. Why not, mate? Why not?
I was going to go Dominic Calvert-Lewin until I realised I'd already had Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and
I didn't realise I haven't used Mateta yet.
No, let me tell you something. I was responsible for Dominic Calvert-Lewin going for 6 in a row, going for 7 in a row, and I chose him, and of course he drew a blank. And the next week he started banging in the goals again. So he would have been my choice, but I'm going to go Mawani to suddenly find some a goal scoring touch or an assist touch. I'm not fussed with any of that. Let's see if there's any more breaking news for stories before we go. David Moyes obviously saying that he's desperate for players in the window. They're still missing.
Big up to Anthony Murphy quickly. Super sticker, $8, $8 Aussie dollars. Super sticker. Big up to you, mate. Choo choo to you. Very, very nice, Anthony. Thank you very much indeed, my man. Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate you. Choo choo.
Yeah, the Leeds Strand Larson deal, £40 million. I'm not sure whether they can really afford to say no. He's going to be gone. Why not? Take the money now. Take the money now. Put some young kid in. And
by the way, do we get to use players again if they've got a new home?
No.
No.
Come on.
Definitely not.
Also, Celtic looking at Callum Wilson. I'd be interested to see where he goes. And Sunderland have agreed a fee for Tarby. Sunderland have agreed a deal of around $3 million to sign Maccabi Netanya winger Jocelyn Tarby. It's understood Tarby has agreed terms on a contract until the summer of 2030, and the club have an option to extend that by a further year. And he's seen a player with very high potential and one for the future. The Ivorian, right, because everyone thought he might be Israeli because he comes from Maccabi Tanya. The Ivorian was on the verge of signing for Celtic before Sunderland nipped in and got him. I would say Sunderland's recruitment, Sean, has been exceptional. And maybe this is another example of it.
Well, we'll find out. €3 million is probably one for the future, but I don't know anything about him. Let's, congratulations to them for the deal. And we'll be back. Actually, tomorrow you're out the football. We're back at
football. Sunday we'll be back. I'll obviously do my report coming from the game. Those at Spurs fans, there will be a demonstration or a protest at the corner pin. I'll be at the corner pin at 1:00 tomorrow to get a light aperitif and a amuse bouche.
All right, guys. Appreciate everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Love to you all. Have a wonderful weekend. Good luck to your teams. And
bye from me.
See you later. It's goodbye from that guy. Bye.
Bye.